Her craft more perfect in invisibility. Her outfits successes when they looked as if she hadn't made them. New Clothes, a poem by Julia Alvarez, published in May 1982, perfectly encaptures all the instances that make up a mom and daughter relationship during the making of a specific project. For me, that project was my senior prom dress. I remember her on rainy days, making my school clothes, gathering the skirt, pinning the belt to the upside down waist, always reverse, work on the blind. She lifted the lining, pins in her mouth, words minced between tight lips, porcupine mother. Flip it over and see. The work doesn't show, blind stitches. She smiled, puckered sleeves, tucked yokes, lace binding on every seam. Her craft more perfect in invisibility, her outfits successes when they looked as if she hadn't made them. I remember the whir and whine of the black singer, the gold traceries on the cast iron rod, by the wheel that lifted and lowered the needle, threading the levers, eyepieces, winding the turquoise string through hooks around minuscule wheels up and down. Her Ariadne hands, clever in labyrinths. The fabric rounding and flattening as it neared the flatbed. The bulb dotting cloth with a spot of light. The needle glinting. The needle racing through gingham, poplin, seersucker, cambric. The pedal pressed heavily down with the weight of one woman. Eye intent. Hands feeding and receiving the fabric. The skirt rounding on the other side of the flatbed. A turquoise fanning. Sometimes she let me stand on her left side, taking the fabric in hand as it came through the portal. Don't tug! Don't hurry it, she snapped. Thread'll snag. Minute by minute, patient impatience, shifting from foot to foot, I begged for the odd job. Taking the seam out, sewing a hem, snipping off threads. My favorite. Sometimes she'd let me stand on her right side, turning the wheel slowly by hand till she pinched. Stop! Handing her scissors by handlers. Never the sharp end. Never. Threading her needles, winding her threads. The spool set in rods in the sewing box. Grandmotherly. Bun ends tucked in the notch of the flat tops. Pink, turquoise, burnt sienna, umber, ivory, mauve, a palette of greens. Laurel, mint, olive, cobalt, and lemon aquamarine. You look good in green. Mint shorts, olive skirts, laurel jumpers. Lemony blouses and nightgowns. Better than store-bought. Late in the night, she worked, bent, peering at stitches. I stayed up dabbing her seams with a wet face cloth, pressing the wet hiss out of my dresses. Sometimes she stopped, turning back over a seam. Forward, back, reinforcement, then snip. She held out a bell of a skeletal skirt for me to try. Nubbed at the small of her back, she glanced at the time. Oh my! It's late. Tomorrow, a school day. She rushed up the stairs, hurried a face wash. Where is that face cloth? Turned my arms into sleeves of the nightgown she'd made me. Tucked me between the sheets that smelled of her hand cream. I waited in the dark. She left me, for the creak of descent, the scrape of the chair, the furious whir of the singer.